Yeah.
It's pure poverty,
Mm.
really. It's pure and utter poverty. But that's not a doing, you know. It's just, it is poverty. Because nothing at all is being apparently offered. So then it's a purposeless conversation just appearing to happen in spite of all the rah rah rah. So this has absolutely nothing to do with knowledge whatsoever. And yet the predominant conversation, the predominant everything in the world is about knowledge. And it's knowledge is the currency of living, really, and inherited knowledge of who we are, what this is, where it's going, um, and it's embedded and imbued in everything, really. And normally, with authority or with knowledge comes an authority on a particular subject. And so, what's rare about this conversation um, is that it's not about knowledge, and that's not anything. You see, when that's said, it can appear like oh, it's sort of confusing, or it must be something other than knowledge. It's just uh, with knowledge, it suggests that there's someone that can know something else that's a subject and know it very well, and so that they can know life, know what it is, and what you can do to make it better. And really, so this meeting was, you know, an email was sent out, but at the core of this is the absence of any kind of information or anything that's useful. There's absolutely nothing in this to live a life by. Now, um, probably a lot of people here know, inverted commas, this subject called non-duality, but really, uh, there isn't non-duality. Because really, at the very, very, very core of what non-duality or this subject is saying is um, that there's just what's appearing to happen, not you and that's really the simplicity of this. So it this what's appearing to happen, this suddenly hearing a voice, is this mystery, is undeniable, and doesn't require a book, a book learning of knowledge or sitting still or breathing in a certain way or becoming something. It's filling the senses as whatever is. But we are so used to communications that involve progression of getting there. And the problem with volunteering anything at all or setting up a meeting is that it suggests, of course, that, well, this voice box with glasses knows what he's talking about. So, in actual fact, not unlike the grass growing or the wind blowing or trees or the sunshine or anything at all, this communication is just what's appearing to happen. It's energetically just happening. And that might seem like a kind of an odd sentence that to say that it's just happening, but it is at the core of everything that there isn't anyone coming to this meeting and there isn't anyone organizing it. It appears like that. It appears like email has been sent out, clicking on link and turning up to so-called meeting. And there can be loads of thoughts, there can be loads of feelings, there can be whatever number, 18. to 19 stories about suddenly, immediately, inescapably arriving to this meeting, and they're all sort of unique, filled with whatever. Um, but this undeniable suddenness of hearing a voice, the total and utter, violently, silently, quietly hearing of a voice, is this mystery, is this aliveness. And it's sort of a miracle that that there is a gathering like this, because it is sort of rare. Um, but let's see what happens. There can be a held view, there can be held images of what this could be, how it should be, where it can go, and there can be a seeking to know and to whatever. And so there's nothing denied. This is an open conversation, and let's see what happens. If there's questions that are there, then they're there to be asked. So you just click on mute and go for it. And there's nothing, there's no way of talking correctly. This can't be talked into. There's no way of, doing this wrong or or doing it right. So so that's a sort of a context for this. And let's see what unfolds. So yeah, you can put a question in or just click unmute or whatever and go for it. Um, there's a question there that is, what is the consequence of coming to this meeting? Well, they're simply just coming to this meeting. So there's simply just this, just that question being typed and then this response. That's what's appearing to happen, and doesn't have a consequence or purpose or anything at all. So you could say that it is asking that question. Well, it's not that you could say that's what's happening. But normally the idea of consequence is sort of lost in the idea that there's a kind of a reason or something to be gotten out of this. Actually, nothing at all. This really is pulsatingly purposeless. So it's storyless and electrically alive as simply just whatever is, whatever thoughts, feelings, ideas held, whatever.
Hi Frank,
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering, was the fading out for you painful? Or
What's the
you,
fate? You see, nothing happens really. There's just the mystery is it's just whatever is appearing to happen. And the fading out is lovely because it's a lovely idea because it feels like that can go somewhere that, you know, but I can say that this is the last thing that in the end, I absolutely hated this communication. and I wanted to run a million gazillion miles from it, but it could not be let go of, let's just say. But nothing happens really. And you see, even if it's a little fucking trace, then you can be sure they will know something and they'll be able to tell you how to get to that place. It's really absolutely nothing. Nothing. And nothing isn't a thing, so there's no change whatsoever. All the character traits, everything. The mystery is flooding the senses immediately as this. There's already no one in there. So no one can fall away or fade away.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Frank, when we're in this dynamic or when this is happening here, or I suppose anywhere, um, and questions get asked, and then there are responses, and the responses will sometimes say, yes, it's this way, or no, that there is it's this way, or a person might ask you how it was in in some form or another, but then it isn't like when those things get expressed, it's just wording happening. And also, when there is no me, it's not that knowing or unknowing can be had. It's that there's no one. There is no one. There is no one that knows the answers. There's no one that had an experience that others didn't have because there isn't anybody. Like,
There never was anyone. So no one's asked that question there
yeah.
or said that. And that's the sort of fucking impossibility, really. And, that's why sometimes you go, okay, holding a meeting, having a website, writing a book gives the impression of knowing. And so therefore then that can perpetuate the seeking because it can seem like, okay, this guy knows, and maybe if I hang in there long enough, I can really get this. And well, that's the communication sort of constantly tries to refute that. So it volunteers something at the start, but really the what's coming out of the gob is a total unknowing, total open clue, divine cluelessness, and no idea how anything is happening, and certainly no idea how this communication is happening. But it's already the case with everything and every apparent one here. But there can be held images, it seems, and ideas. And then with that, questions appear to be asked. But there's no one holding on to ideas. There's no one holding on to kind of know this. It's just apparently holding on or whatever. And no one gets this. And so it is it is a miracle in a sense with all of the worldly, let's say, communications that are out there, that there's this one that has offers absolutely nothing at all. And that's not a kind of a doing, like that's the thing that's kind of so interesting. It's not a doing that nothing is apparently offered, and nothing is not a thing. So it's not even nothing then. So then it's just a communication appearing to happen, but it's the fucking same with like if it was all about understanding. I say this a lot, I believe. If it was all about understanding, then everybody here would have the box ticked. They'd go, I get the fuck, I get this. So it's actually just appearing to turn up to one of these gatherings, appearing to be caught or interested by it, and then it's just whatever, gonzo. And so perhaps questions are gone, perhaps never talking about it again, or perhaps communicating or not, who knows, like. But it's the same. It's just, it is a very, it's a killer when a seeking is happening to hear that it's the same. But this communication can't be any other way. It's not because it's nothing to do with this human being here at all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, what did you ask again? Well, that in a sense, the that already there's no one in all of them bodies there. That's so the trees are growing, and the dog is wagging the tail, and the humans are doing the humans, and there's not an inch of me anywhere in anyone. So then this thing that's not there, that's not there, can't be let go of or can't fall away and can't be understood.
But can the impression or believing in it, be gone?
Well, there's just what is or what's appearing. So, when you say, can this impression or belief of can that no longer be there? It's a bit more than a belief, really. It's sort of, but it's filled and lived as just whatever is. So, um, you see, nothing happens, or there's that's the killer. But then this idea of this seeking then to get rid of a me that just doesn't seem to take hold, or there's just does that seems to be then an impossibility, let's just say. So that part is as mysterious as the question, really. You could say then that I'm making making something out of that.
Yeah.
You see, this belief in me is held by nothing. It's just a belief then. But it's the predominance that I'm me, you're you. It's like inherent, it's from the get-go. It's like and it's not even considered that. And then there's some suddenly reading a sentence or hearing a sentence that there is no you. But that can't, so we fucking get hit on the head with that. It just can't, it's like it can't be unheard. For some, for most, it'll be like whatever, But for some, it seems like it just cannot be let go of.
Yeah. I have a memory of being like really little, maybe 4 or 5, and like having the wonder before falling asleep. Like, I wonder what my story is because I guess I was reading, having books read to me. Um, the way that it seems now is not necessarily like, um, you know, uh, like a an attachment to the character, that I would call, my name or whatever. It's more this like felt sense of being here in a specific place and having judgments.
And
So it's
having
almost,
judgments.
yeah, it's like a
How do
faculty.
you do judgments again? Just
Hmm. uh,
do you know how do you do them? Or they're just what's happening, like it's just judgment. Boom.
yeah, I guess, eh? Hmm.
But it's like that. It's as everything. Everything is just there's just what's happening. Doesn't require me to have a judgment.
Hmm.
It's just judgment. It's like that's tasty or whatever. Is that a judgment or that that's a fucker there for beeping the horn at me?
Hmm. Right. Oh yeah. Or I could be doing better at this. Um, if
Yeah.
if that. Um, so yeah, it just seems like that is not that's somehow undesirable. That it would be nice to not have those judgments happening.
Yeah, well, like really, there can be the imagination of how it should be, would be, could be, or there's just what's appearing to happen, which includes judgments and also includes not wanting there to be judgments.
Hmm.
So what's to be said about that then? It's like, is that deemed then to be wrong? Or, you know, it's just what's happening.
Okay, and is it happening for everyone?
I haven't a clue. I'm sure there's really good holy people here. Like
Yeah.
you see what's it's the fucking problem is there's images held and the images are of a state of someone who is this way and they should be like this. That is how they should live. And they should carry on like this and they shouldn't have judgments. They should eat cleanly, talk cleanly. It's all so dull and boring and dress in white, probably or
Hmm.
whatever, dress a certain way, talk a certain way, not experience any sort of there's no pain, no loss, no anything at all, no fucking up, nothing. It's just everything is smooth sailing. So that's just an image then trying to constrict this into a way of how it should be. And it's always like it's like it's just ideas, dreams of whatever.
Hmm.
They can be let go of because there is no authority. And the mystery doesn't begin or end. There aren't certain parts then that, well, I've got that figured out, like but I don't have that part figured out.
Hmm.
The whole lock, stock, and smoke and barrel is totally unknowable and free to be exactly how it appears to be being. And so, like, there can be imaginations then of, well, if there's no me, I'll just be fucking totally zen and I'll be really cool and there'll be no problems whatsoever. And I won't tell my mother-in-law to fuck right off or whatever.
Right.
Maybe there'll be way more of that. I don't know. I don't know. Like, this is free, it's alive, it isn't, it's utterly timeless and patternless, even if there is patterns appearing. So it seems like it's going to be a certain way, and then vump, it's not like.
Hmm. It seems easy to critique, the way that we live in the modern world, and there's a lot to be afraid of in a way, like or to try to avoid. Um, but it is just as much of a wonder as anything else. Um,
Well, really, it is, even though there's loads of characters apparently out there who are authorities on absolutely everything. There's kings and queens and gods and goddesses and all of that. And they're all full of knowledge and experience and ways and know what's right and what's wrong and all that.
Yeah.
But the blade of grass doesn't need any help, nor does the dog,
Right.
apart from a bit of food.
Hmm.
Um, and so it's, it really, there's no authority on anything. It's all just fucking characters held, it's like they know, and it's just a load of shit. It's a load of crap.
Well, what do you think about this statement? The battle for the soul is being fought in the area of medicine or medical, the medical industry.
Well, I mean, we're getting into that whole world, but I mean, there absolutely does seem to be a whole lot going on there.
Hmm.
That seems to be. I think it seems to be when there's money involved, the whole thing just gets corrupt, and that's not a big statement. It's probably true.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
so then the idea of it, the battle of the soul and all that, I don't know. I mean,
oh, yeah.
there are amazing doctors out there that follow the mantra of do no harm. And so I sort of am interested in those that have nothing really to gain in
Yeah.
a certain way. But that's probably another conversation, the can of
Mhm.
worms.
Yeah.
Um, but so
Yeah.
like, everywhere. In every tiny inch from my desk here and the coffee stains and where the coffee stains have come from and how long they've been there and have not been cleaned. Every tiny inch has a miracle of a story that could go on boundlessly. Like it is stories in every corner from a
Mhm.
fingernail to the shared story of the political landscape and family life, town, villages. It's gazillions and gazillions and gazillions of stories unfolding. And yet, the one story that is
Yeah.
not talked about is this sudden immediacy of the sound of a voice. And it's the only conversation, it's the music of whatever seems to surprisingly come out of this mouth in these gatherings. And it's a constant return to the suddenness of just, whatever is.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Mm. Thank you. There's a question here. I might need your help. Me energetic can freely appear after body death. Uh, yeah. Uh, if you're talking about, the body dying and suddenly somebody coming back to life again, then there can be traces and memories then. But the thing with good old me is that there isn't one.
So, Frank, there isn't a coming from or going to, there isn't a source. So if there is no one, there's nothing that comes after that. If there isn't a me, there's nothing that follows that. That's the end. I
Hmm.
mean, isn't it? I
Well,
mean,
it's constantly the end, really. So that's why it never needs to be remembered or held on to. It's constantly over. It's like if it
yeah,
was something that needed to be remembered, it'd be, what was it again?
yeah,
You see, there's just what is flooding. It would be very difficult, all this, for good old me, if me was really running the show, like, wouldn't it? Do you know? Good old
is it?
me. You could do a better job of keeping the hair. That's or, you know, the beard could be a little bit less grey. But me can't seem to figure that part out. Not really the thinking either, or the orchestrating. So it's always the end, really. But then the end is a story also. So then there's just this Izzy-ness, maybe. It's as good as word as any. It was always over, Maureen, despite all your protesting to the contrary.
Yeah, there's such a relief in forgetting things.
Hmm.
When you just said, what was it again? Like
It is the forgetting. There's nothing to be remembered.
right.
So it's like, what do I need to remember again? Oh, all there is what's appearing to happen. So obviously it's forgetting.
Yeah. Yeah. And like that newness and the freshness and the wonder, it seems like that's just can push out all of the like what I would have otherwise been remembering. Whatever that would be. Yeah.
So the newness can be also feeling apparently totally and utterly fucked off because there's no one in there, and this newness and ever freshness is not just you know feeling like top of the world or whatever the fuck. It's nothing to do with any of that at all. It's just free to be exactly how it appears to be being. There's only everything,
Hmm.
but is pretty big and also nothing. Also just this just sound of a voice. But like the ever freshness is this immediacy that cannot actually be held on to, including wanting to sort of hold it or keep it or whatever the fuck. It's nothing trying to hold on to nothing and grip it. But
Yeah.
it can't be. And you could say that the relaxation is that, oh, it's just this, like there's nothing needs to be remembered because it is also forgetting. And it's not about language or words, or even though obviously language and words are used. So this mouth doesn't turn up talking about fucking coffee or going for a run. It sort of lays down a grounding for the conversation, and then there's questions and response. Like the whole thing really, you see, it can appear that, oh, well, Frank's organizing this meeting about non-duality, but actually it's the mystery is that question being asked. It's just a live electric conversation with, and if there was anything on offer at all, it would be absolutely awful for it would not happen at all because I'd have to have slides. This fucking human being would have to have slides and present it properly and you'd have to go through it over and over and over and over again, and it'd have to be 100% correct because it likes things to be done fucking right, and you can't do it half. And I'd probably have loads of little glitzy sort of thingies on it, little videos as well, so I could get a break from talking. But in this scenario, no, it's not like that at all. So it's nothing to do with character traits or anything at all. And it's also like it's like the same there. It's just sort of seems to hold or be hold. I don't know even what to say about that. It's just like it's the same for that, for Lauren there. It's the exact same. So then you take away all the stories of Lauren and Frank and everything. It's just this. It's just what's happening. Like so. Woo, 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 woo.
But there's this twist where, it appears that sometimes I am aware of, or there is awareness of, you know, um, it as immediacy. And then there are other times when there's like narrow focus on a perceived problem.
Hmm.
And then there's other times again where it's back to the appearance of an awareness of this being everything and completely incomprehensible.
Well, if there was a me, then it absolutely would be perfectly living in a place called immediacy all the time. It would not be narrowly focused on an activity or as a flood of thinking or whatever the fuck. It wouldn't be if there was a boss to all this, it would sit immaculately, perfectly, steely-eyed, dressed in white, with a spiritual six-pack, and everything would be perfect. So then, all there is what's happening, however that appears to be.
Yeah. Wow. I just thought of something. Yeah. Like when you said that, it's the obsession with me now and digital media is has really combined all of the different desires into like one. And now you have to have a spiritual six pack and, $1 billion.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
just have one of these. But anyway, I think what you said is very
What's that about $1 billion? A billion.
yeah, a billion.
Okay, so you don't need all of them. I'm accepting contributions. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, no, it's
Um,
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
it's just sort of like really what it is just it's like it's just the rah 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 of it's just rah rah rah. That's all it is. Like it's like oh this then it'll be great. It's then this yeah oh then it'll be great. It's no. But that's also just what is like. It's just the rah 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 rah.
Hmm.
So the mystery then is just suddenly everything.
Yeah. And I think like, well, and you can't have it. Nobody can have it.
It'll be very heavy and also very light because it's nothing.
Hmm.
It is the sentence, you can't have it. It is the hand there, and it is the thoughts.
Yeah.
So then, so so then. What can be said, well, whatever appears to be said or thought. So if you could do it rightly, then it would be very coherent and very wise and slow and all that, it would be. It's not about wisdom or speaking in a certain way. It's everything.
Hmm. Wow. Okay, I don't have anything more to say.
Right. Thank you.
Good evening, Frank.
Hiya.
Hey, uh, I just feel like saying that this is like talking about talking.
Yeah, it's talking about talking, really.
Mm. And
That's
in a way, it's lovely because like nothing needs to be known. It just can just bubble out, so to speak. And
yeah.
yeah, it's in a way very relaxing.
If it was something, then that's where the heaviness kicks in.
Yes, yes, yeah. Hmm. It's like a bit of real freedom of speaking.
Well, when there is no one orchestrating or doing the talking, then it's effortless.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
how could it, you know, it's that's making it sort of, there is already no one doing anything. So, yeah. Mhm.
Mm. Ah, yeah. Ah, I love it. Thanks.
Thank you. If there was an it that could be talked about, it would be like trying to catch catching. Yeah, so that's that talking about talking, it's the same sort of idea. It can't be held on to. It's like falling through the senses as um just what is.
Yeah, I feel I'm doubting to speak. Um,
What did you say? You're doubting to speak?
yeah, sometimes there is seems to be pain in the body.
Right.
That's it.
Okay. So it seems to be then.
Yeah. Sometimes it feels like it's almost unbearable to feel the pain.
Mm.
This is just a sharing. So as far as I'm concerned, I repeatedly try to understand what's going on, and I realized then also that I try to create a form of false safety. And now energetically, it's like I'm same time so fed up with that mechanism. Yeah, it's like I'm so tired of it. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I mean, there can be analytical or whatever, overthinking and all that. That's how it can be. Like, I mean, it's normal though. You see, everything else appears like it can be understood. Like
Yeah.
that is the way of the world. And uh, but it's not like this is also saying that it is the attempt to want to understand.
Mm.
It's like that's how do you do that? It's what's happening.
Mhm.
So there isn't anything that can be held on to because there isn't anyone. So even if you forget, like there's so much really laden down. We imbue even these sorts of communications. We imbue them with some sort of meaning, even if it's repeatedly said. Whatever. It's still there's meaning taken from them, and some will find a way to live a life by them. But it's not it's unfortunately very, 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 it's fortunately also very paltry. Really, if it's an uncompromising communication, it's all it's saying is there's just what's appearing to happen. That's really it, not you and. So um so what needs to be understood about simply sitting and asking a question? But obviously that felt sense or that but or whatever is also, you know, or I'm fed up or whatever. That's also this. That's also. So it's just that there's just nothing in this to live a life by or that's useful or that's going to make anything better or anything at all.
Yeah.
It's pure poverty,
Mm.
really. It's pure and utter poverty. But that's not a doing, It's just it is poverty because nothing at all is being apparently offered. So then it's a purposeless conversation just appearing to happen in spite of all the rah rah rah. It's just it's it's just a conversation appearing to happen without a purpose.
Yeah, to me it feels then like an empty brain in a way.
Yeah, well, you see, actually, there's nothing that thoughts can't really do anything with this, really.
Yeah.
And so it's funny, we have all these thoughts about, meetings and non-duality and everything. And really, the Matt doesn't need all that to go talking or apparently ask a question. So it's just Vump apparently asking a question. And the thoughts about, oh, yeah, but they don't match really.
Yeah.
I'm doing the asking of that question. Oh, right. Are you? Really? You got the first, did you get a couple of words in, or what part did you figure out really? And how did you do all that and keep pumping the heart? You're mighty. Me. Mighty me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's constantly it just returns to then uh just what is, whatever rabbit hole we sort of jump down, this voice constantly just returns to the sudden immediacy of what is. That's utterly unknowable, but also undeniable, and so appears as every thought, every but, everything. See, we're just so used to arriving somewhere, you know, but where is the somewhere?
Yeah, interesting. This idea of arriving, huh?
Yeah,
It's
it's
like such, it can be so persistent, but it's like rarely occurs that this arriving never happens.
well, you
Yeah.
see, it's the end of arriving. It's like, I mean, the whole thing is structured with so many concrete pillars of here and there, of me and you, of time, of earth, of life, of my life. And they're sort of like solid pillars. And really, they are this, it is a kind of like a house of cards, really, because every single one thing is sort of reliant on another little story, and the whole thing is held together by nothing. So where is this? Where is this here? But this is nowhere. Woo! Oh, fuck. Which mean nowhere. This is nowhere.